And hello everybody, welcome back to RFC News. Guys, they are cracking, they are in meltdown, they are not happy. You can definitely tell that it's Old Firm week. Of course, Celtic taking on Stuttgart in the Europa League as they look to try and salvage and go through to the next round from a 4-1 defeat. However, I wouldn't be speaking about Celtic if it wasn't for Old Firm week. They are our opposition, of course, this weekend, and this is a mammoth clash. He who wins will take a big step towards Hearts and maybe leaving the other side to scrap it out with Motherwell for third and fourth. Who knows? There's been a lot of twists and turns in this title race. However, one of the key decisions that happened over the last 24 hours was that of the SFA denying Celtic's appeal for Austin Trusty's red card. It was a red card, just to let you know. However, I find it very, very difficult to take these decisions because they're used to the SFA constantly being on their side. When they get one decision against them, then it's toys out of the pram. And that's certainly the case here with Martin O'Neill. He's in an absolute meltdown, by the way. This guy is cracking and clearly doesn't understand what VAR is for. Let's have a watch of this, guys. But first, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more.
Well, I did the interview after the game, and someone asked me were we going to appeal it, and I thought, well, I'm really not sure about it. But the appeals are, in this day and age, seemingly worthless. That's not actually been the case. But then when I get the information coming back from the club and what has been said in VAR, then I thought, yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you why. Because the referee, as he told me on Saturday, has seen the incident. It's not as if he hasn't seen it. He's watching it. And when he's asked by a very excited man in VAR saying, delay, and they asked him and he said, no, it's nothing. He said, I'm just going to have a word with the players. And then he has to trot over then to change his mind. All I'm saying is that VAR will, in time, we won't need a referee. VAR will do it from wherever they're doing it from, because that's what they did. So the referee is what? So they've asked the referee to overturn something that he's actually seen. He's seen it. It's not as if he missed the incident. Of course, that would be a different issue. And he actually says it's nothing. It's nothing. I'm going to have a word with the players. And so I've got a player who's missed 3 games. It's such a nonsense. I'm all on for people have missed something dramatic and in a game that constitutes something that they should have a look at. But when a referee sees the incident himself, then what he's been asked to do is, no, you didn't see that. You didn't see that. You saw something else. That's got to be debilitating for a referee. It's got to be.
Well, interestingly enough, there was no mention of what the player actually did, by the way, which it was a red card. It's simple as that. However, whilst, we can take the piss out of Martin for, being in a bit of a meltdown, I've actually just thought about this here. And this is, I think, nothing but calculated intimidation tactics to put as much pressure on the officials as possible. I've seen this with Celtic, and whilst I was sitting there laughing about his meltdown, and yes, he's in a meltdown, I don't think he's that astute. However, I do think this is part of a ploy to put more pressure on the officials. It's what Celtic do. It's how they've won many, many league titles and got decisions in their favour time and time again. I can think of all the goals that have been chopped off cup finals against Celtic. Intimidation tactics. Or is it just an old guy that's in a meltdown who doesn't understand VAR and what his player did? Either way, I'll leave you to decide that. Let me know in the comment section below. In other news, Rangers have been without Derek Cornelius since November, with the defender sidelined by a significant muscle injury that ultimately required surgery. The 28-year-old, who joined the Ibrox club on loan from Marseille during this summer window, has endured a frustrating spell in Scotland so far, managing just 12 appearances before his campaign was halted. Cornelius's absence has been felt during a demanding period of the season, particularly given his profile as a left-footed centre-back, a trait that naturally balances a defensive line and offers tactical flexibility. His ability to also operate at left-back makes him a valuable option in multiple systems, something that appealed to the recruitment team when the deal was first agreed. The injury setback in late November proved more serious than initially anticipated. Surgery was required to address the muscle issue, significantly extending his time on the sidelines and forcing a reset in his recovery timeline. At that stage, there was understandable caution around projecting a return date, particularly given the physical demands placed on defenders in the Scottish Premiership. Head coach Danny Roll confirmed last week that the Canada international has now returned to training, marking an important milestone in his rehabilitation. However, as is often the case following surgical intervention and a prolonged layoff, a return to full match sharpness will not happen overnight. Injury expert Dr. Rajpal Brar has indicated that while Cornelius's reintroduction to training aligns with the previously suggested late January timeline, careful monitoring will be essential. According to Brar, players coming back from extended muscle injuries typically require a structured reconditioning period within full training before being considered for competitive minutes. He explained that the club are likely to observe him in full sessions for approximately 7 to 10 days, ensuring he responds well to increased load and intensity. Beyond that, a series of internal or bounce matches would be expected, allowing the medical and coaching staff to assess his readiness under match-like conditions. Only after successfully navigating those steps would he be considered for meaningful involvement in first-team fixtures. Even then, immediate 90-minute appearances would be unlikely. Muscle injuries, particularly those requiring surgery, demand gradual reintegration to reduce the risk of recurrence. It may therefore be several weeks before Cornelius is capable of completing a full match at competitive tempo. From a squad perspective, his return could arrive at a crucial juncture. Rangers' defensive depth has been tested at times this season, and having a naturally left-sided defender available again would offer both balance and competition. Cornelius's physicality and comfort in possession suggest he is well suited to the tempo and direct nature of Scottish football, attributes that were evident in his early appearances before injury struck. There is also a longer-term dimension to consider. The loan agreement includes an option to buy at the end of the campaign, a clause that could yet become significant. Should Cornelius return in the coming weeks and re-establish himself as a reliable presence in the starting 11, it would strengthen the case for making the move permanent. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.